Hello, you guys. How are you guys doing? Have me some water. I'm gonna get my water first before I get my drink. It is Monday. This is the Becoming Your Magic Power Hour. We're about to have a around the way type of conversation today. That's why I got my around the way type of look for a throwback conversation. We are going to have the throwback look. Like, I'm laughing because the other day I wore my little I Choose Me cap. You guys see my cap? Oh, my goodness. I love my little cap. Because even though you have locks, sometimes you got a bad hair day too. So, but the other day, my girlfriend, shout out to Mika, saw me in my hat. She laughed. She called me and said, "Girl, you look like a round the way girl with that hat on, huh? You look straight from New York. Queens to be exact, right?" But I cracked up. So anyway, this is my round the way look because today we having a throwback type of conversation. But before we get to the topic, I just want to take this time to, first of all, welcome you guys for tuning in. This is the Become Your Magic Power Hour, where we meet here every Monday through Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. in order to what? Ignite our abracadabras, to show up for ourselves, to celebrate ourselves, to see ourselves. And so this is your opportunity to plug into whatever sources are available, right? Because we each have the energy to provide a type of power up, would you say, for one another. And so I show up so that I can connect to my source and give you a little bit of what I got or whatever is flowing through me at the time. Because after all, that's what we're here for, right? Because words have the power to change everything. And so we are worrying about the wrong things. In order for us to change, we got to renew our minds. And so we got to impress upon each other the right words, right? The right words for the season. And so we are in the season of recognizing that we are our own magic. We are in the season of recognizing that in order for you to become who you want to be, you just got to show up. You got to walk it out. You got to walk into your destiny. And so at this time, before I start talking, let me go and find myself on Facebook. If you are tuning in, please like, share, tag a friend. Let me find myself so that I can share to my groups. Let my people know it's Monday. You know how Mondays are. You guys forget about what's going on. So sometimes you just got to send a shout out to everybody to remind them to come join the conversation, because I know everybody can use a refill. Did you charge that phone today? Did you go get some gas today? So you definitely can use a refill in your soul, in your spirit, in the way you see yourself, right? Because the way we see ourselves, what we think about ourselves, what we have implanted in our minds is who we become. Okay. And so we take this time to figure out what are those words in our head, right? What are the things that we tell ourselves? All right, here we go. As soon as I finish this sharing, I am going to begin with our word for today, with our conversation for today, with our inspiration for the day, with our plug-in for today. Okay, got that done. We live, y'all. Okay, so that's it. What I wanted to say is today's topic, we're going to talk about, did you grow up to be who you wanted to be? Today we're going to talk about and ask, did you grow up to be who you wanted to be? You know, I think that's a real laid back, that's why I said a around the way type of conversation. So this is an opportunity for us to go down memory lane, to think about what we used to dream about from ourselves, and then to kind of tap in and find out, did we do that? have we showed up in that? Are we like actually walking in the dream we have for ourselves, right? And so, like I said, this is the Power Hour. If you are on, please do me a nice favor and share. Use that little beautiful pointer that you have and share, like, and please be a part of the conversation. So today is a laid back day. I'm not going to be preaching to you. I'm not going to be going off. I'm going to really try to come together with you guys so that we can decide, are you living in your dream? And so we're only 6 minutes in. And so my regulars know that I do not go on with the topic to about 15 minutes in, so 7:15. So, this is the time where I celebrate you. This is the time where I ask you, have you been showing up in your abracadabra? This is the time where I ask you, are you feeling like you are becoming your magic? Are you feeling like you are walking into the footprint that was designed just for you, right? Because it's all about us realizing that we really get to create our world. We really get to decide what it looks like when we begin to know who we are, when we begin to know whose we are, and when we begin to know that we are very magical people, right? The magic in our showing up, the magic in our rising beyond our circumstances, our trials and tribulations, the magic of who we are in spite of, but because of what our story looks like, right? And so when we think about our power hour, we're thinking about plugging in order to get that surge back in you, right? In order to get a refill so that you can recognize just what it requires for you to what? For you to live in your dreams, for you to become your dreams, right? Because I say, close your eyes long enough to see it, but open them up long enough to be it. Because faith without works is dead. And so we got to figure out what it is that we should be working toward in order to be the evidence of the dreams that we have for ourselves. We gotta be really focused on that, right? Really focus on what that looks like. So, without further ado, I want you to ask yourself, what is the dream I used to have for myself? Who did I want to be when I was younger? When I looked up at myself, who did I want to be? That's the question right now. That is the question that I want you to think about. That is the question that I want you to marinate on. That is the question that I want this whole rest of your day to be about, right? Because on this journey of plugging in order for us to be who we want to be, in order for us to take advantage of this hour, we got to really get in alignment, right? We got to really get in action for our attraction. We got to really focus on what it is that we want. And so, did you grow up to be who you wanted to be is the major question. And so when I thought about that today, I was thinking like, okay, what did I want to be? Because it just hit me. So I said that is going to be the topic today. Did you grow up to be who you wanted to be? I had to ask myself, what did I want to be? And so I went back, and the first thing I wanted to be was a teacher. Oh my God. I loved my third grade teacher, Miss Pierre. I mean, she was the most amazing. Do you realize that teachers are so essential? Like, I'm sure so many people recognize in this time frame just how important and just how unnecessary a teacher is. The reason why they're so necessary is because they are so impressionable on your children's lives, right? Any of you guys have children, and all of you guys have been in school at one point. You know what I mean? They're very impressionable, right? And how they speak to your child, right? We go back to the seeds of thought, which is what this whole power, the become your magic, coming out of that realm where you are stuck in the pain of yesterday. And so you don't understand how powerful you are, all of these different things that we suffer with daily, right? This is the no more sis time, right? And when I say no more sis, I'm not talking to a woman, sister, queen. I mean no more suffering in silence, right? And so we suffer in silence because we don't understand just who we are. We don't understand how necessary what we've been through was. And so when I thought about being a teacher back in the day, I wanted to inspire a kid like that teacher inspired me. And so I think that's why that was the first reason I wanted to be a teacher, because of my teacher, right? And so when you think about when you were younger, the reason why you may have wanted or desired to be something was because deep down there was probably something that you were connected to, that thing that you were desiring, because all desires start from within, right? And the second thing is somebody showed up in that role or that title, and it left a very lasting imprint on you, right? That soul print I'm talking about. And so Miss Pierce for me was a soul print. And so the first thing I wanted to do was be a teacher. The second thing that I wanted to be was I wanted to be a lawyer. Oh my God. When I was growing up, I love Matlock. I don't know how many of you guys know what Matlock is, but he would always, get the person off, right? He would always be their advocate, right? And so I wanted to be a lawyer. I thought, oh my goodness, like when nobody else believed this person, he found out a way to figure out a way to, turn everybody back on that person's side, right? He defended them. He investigated. And so I want to be the investigator. I want to be the lawyer. I want to be come to the rescue, right? So that was my second dream. Now, my third dream of what I wanted to be when I grew up was I wanted to be a psychologist. Aha! Isn't that hilarious, right? I wanted to be a psychologist. I thought that I would go to college and that I would learn to, figure out how to deal with people, because I was fascinated and I thought I was very good even at a young age, especially with my gift of poetry, right? God would just give me the words. I always say, as God whispers, I wrote it down. I never take credit for none of my work, because it's just like it's so much bigger than me, and I've been doing it for so long. I didn't study to become an author or a poet. It just happened. It just was in me, right? And so I always was like, I found that way of speaking to people, but I love psychology. I love the ability to counsel, right? To be a counselor, right? So when I thought of psychology, I thought of somebody counseling somebody through their darkest hours, their low moments, right? Helping them see the silver lining, right? Helping them to get through those things. So those are the three things that I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to be a teacher, I wanted to be a lawyer, and I wanted to be a psychologist, right? And so when I was thinking today, did I grow up to be who I wanted to be? I had to answer that question with yes. Why did I grow up to be what I wanted to be? Because at the age of 40, I feel like I'm definitely a teacher. Outside of my 5 amazing kids who I taught very well, I believe, right? I think my husband would give me a thumbs up on that. I think I was great at teaching them, the fundamentals, just the core things you need in order to survive. I definitely know I taught, a lot of people how to love themselves through the I Choose Me movement, right? I taught them how to see themselves. I mean, when I get to look at people who I remember was afraid to speak in front of people, when I look at people who was afraid to write their story, when I look at people who were afraid to love themselves, I thought, wow, I got the ability, I got the opportunity to become a teacher, because I just use my words to impact. And so I was like, okay, well, I can check that. Okay, so we're going to go somewhere with this, right? And so now it's like you got the ability to do that. And so, okay, so actually, I guess I could say I became a teacher. The other thing I wanted to be was a lawyer. Now, although I've never been to school, and although I do not have a certificate, my husband will assure you that I am a lawyer. I am the advocate, right? When we are driving in a car, if he is frustrated by somebody driving, I have to always defend somebody. If it just drives him crazy. I'm always jumping in to rescue somebody in any type of conversation when I feel like they don't have a voice, or nobody's listening to them, or nobody hears them. So when I thought about who I am today, and I had to ask myself, did I grow up to be who I wanted to be? Oh my goodness, I believe I became a lawyer, right? I became a lawyer because I decided to advocate for people, right? I decided to fight for people. I decided to believe in people's truths beyond what other people believed about them. With all the evidence, I still always believed in the best in people, right? And so I would say that I grew up to be that lawyer I always wanted to be. And the last thing I wanted to be was a psychologist. I wanted the ability to be able to hear somebody in their darkest hours. I wanted to be able to sit and help somebody see their way out of those tunnels, right? To become the light so that they can find their switch. And then I look at the whole movement and I Choose Me and picking up the broken pieces and all these different things, and the books, How Special Are You? Where You're One of a Kind, and 365 Days of Loving Yourself to Life. I thought I have become that psychologist. You know, I was able to find people in their valleys and help them find their switch. I was able to help people realize just how amazing they are, even in the spite of their stories, but because of their stories. I was able to help people remove their shame and get in their lane by what? First, helping myself, right? Helping myself up out of those valleys, helping myself see the beauty in myself. So what I realize is that at the core of the things that we want for ourselves is who we really are. And sometimes when we're stuck in today, right? Not knowing, oh, I keep freezing. Am I still freezing? You know, when you're stuck in today, not knowing, right? What are the things that make you special, right? What are the things that you desired for yourself, and you got stuck in the box of what that meant, right? So you got stuck in the box of what a teacher meant, and you got stuck in the box of what lawyer meant, and you got stuck in a box of what that psychologist meant, or that doctor, you know, because as a doctor you can be a healer, right? And you can heal people with your words every single day, right? By just pouring goodness in them, right? By just celebrating who they are, by just sowing into them in a positive way that nurtures their soul, their spirit, right? And so we all have the capability to be a healer, right? And that's what doctors do. They help to heal you past those traumas, past that situation that you never saw coming, right? And so that's what life is all about. You get stuck in those moments, hey, Brittany, where you need to be healed past those things. And so I want you to ask yourself, really, what did I want to be when I grew up? And get outside of the word, right? Get outside of the norm of what that word meant, and then start to think about who you are in your life, and look at the definitions of what that word embodies. There's a reason that every word has a definition, and then similar words that will give you the idea or the connection of what they represent. So a teacher is somebody who, you know, who gives information, right? Who actually helps structure the mindset, right? To give you hopefully valuable information that is going to influence the trajectory of your life, right? And so if you wanted to be a teacher and you never got the opportunity, like me, I didn't go to college. I ended up, you know, somebody who wanted to be a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer. And so for so long, I was like, oh my God, how disappointed am I, right? You know, I had a dream for myself, and these are the things that I wanted. And did I become, or did I show up? And am I these things? Or, you know, because sometimes we feel so disappointed in ourselves when we don't get that picture in the way we wanted it, because we don't recognize that it wasn't the role and the title, it was what it embodied. And so who you wanted to be, you are probably that in this moment because it is the embodiment of the emotions of what that word meant, right? Because I wanted to be a teacher because of the emotional connection that was stuck to me, right? As a teacher. That teacher that came in my life, that teacher that made a difference, that teacher that inspired me, right? Made me want to be a teacher. So that was once again an emotional connection to that word, an emotional connection to why I wanted that thing, you know? I wanted to be a psychologist. Why? Because, and a lawyer. Why? Because I watch a lot of TV. I love TV. You know, I love TV. Most people would think that I am an avid reader. And let me tell you, if it's not an inspirational book, 9 times out of 10, I cannot read it. So I already know my genre, even growing up, right? If it wasn't something that was like making me zooz up and want to do something, that's just my niche. So like, when it like exotic books or sci-fi, you know, I it won't catch me for long. It's kind of hard to keep my attention because I actually know what fills me up. That's the gift of thinking about what you want it to be. It will really help you get a discovery of those connections, right? Because they're all connected if you think about it. A teacher is connected to the lawyer who's connected to the psychologist. They all are an impactful in a mind type of way, right? Because the teacher is going to inspire. The teacher is going to give you so many seeds of thought, right? The lawyer is going to give you a seed of a belief that somebody believes in you, right? Because when you get that lawyer, you want somebody to defend you because they believe in you, or at least they are working on your behalf for what you say is so, right? And so it still starts with that internal thing, that belief system, that self-love, that I am my magic. And so again, I say, what was the dream that you had for yourself? What was the desire? Who did you want to be when you grew up? And in this present state, are you happy with who you are today? Are you happy with who you are becoming? And what can be done to change that, right? And so what are the things that you can remember you wanted to do? Because I can assure you that where you are today and what you wanted to be yesterday, there's a way to figure out how to map that back into your life so that you can show up and begin to get that trustworthy relationship with yourself. You know, we lose trust with ourselves when we dream and it never becomes our reality. We lose trust with ourselves when we operate and we never really see our the evidence of just how valuable we are. Which is why becoming your magic and I choose me is so important, because it leads us to ourselves. It leads us into our destiny. It leads us into the conversation to ask myself, what do I want from me? What do I require from me? And am I showing up for myself in that magnitude? Am I showing up in the dream that I had for myself? Do I know how valuable and how special I am? Do I understand that in order for me to continue to overflow, that I must put myself in the rooms, right? And in the spaces in order for me to refill, in order for me to get those seeds of thought, to change the way I garden, the way I see myself, the way I hear myself. And so I have to realize that that dream that I had is still real. Why is it still real? Because I'm still here. And I have to ask myself, what was the connection from that dream to who I am? What I am, what I see for myself, what brings me joy? Because finding the things that bring us joy allows us to live an effortless life. Finding the things that took away from us, right, is how we figure out those places in which our most value is. Because you are built when you are broken, right? Because the best parts of yourself, the aroma of who you are gets to come out when you are broken, right? But the idea is to pick up those broken pieces. Because if you never pick up the broken pieces, you are not intentional with who you are. Because when you break, and don't come back together, right? When you dream and never realize that you are the master of your dreams, right? And what is the poem Invictus that we learned when we were young? But you are the master of your fate. You decide who you can be, and those seeds of thought will continue to nurture that concept, that understanding, that space. And so self-love, right? And seeing ourselves and showing up for ourselves and being able to validate ourselves is what becoming your magic is all about. Is what is all it's the purpose of it all, right? Because who you are is all about how you see yourself. Who you are is all about what you believe about yourself. Who you become, it's all about how you show up. So you may say, you know what, I don't want to go to school, but I didn't go to school. I figured out another way to be a teacher with the time that God gave me, right? Because every day you are in the university of life. Every day you are learning about yourself. Every day you are scoped in that piece. Because once you pick up those broken pieces, as I was saying before, and you become whole again, you begin to be able to pour into people instead of spilling all over people, right? And so to pick up broken pieces is to be intentional about how you show up after the traumatic event, after the situation, after life showed up, right? Because life is inevitable. And to live effortlessly is to recognize that you have the ability to dance in the rain. You have the ability to recognize that even though your dream, or even though the vision or the picture that you had for your life didn't work out exactly how you saw it, you got to relate it to what it is you wanted and where it is that you are. What it is that you wanted and where it is that you are. And so again, I say, did you become who you wanted to be? And has that dream changed through the years? And how are you implementing new structures in your life to actually make sure that this dream becomes your reality? That you don't just have to have one dream, that you can continue to dream as you continue to show up, as you continue to manifest, as you continue to make them realities. Because one dream begets another dream, begets another dream, begets another dream. Because as you're walking on the journey of fulfilling the thoughts and the desires in your mind, right? You get to see it in real time. And then you begin to trust the thoughts that are in your mind. Because our heart will support what we think. Our heart will take us to the places that we desire, that we see for ourselves, right? And we can only see things through vision. And I'm talking about the type of vision that is internal in order for the external sight to be as valuable. And so those internal dreams are the vision that we've had for ourselves for so long. And so today I found out that I actually, without going to school, without getting those certificates, I can say to myself, I feel like I have accomplished the desire to become a teacher, to become a lawyer, and to become a psychologist by just tapping into me. By living in my reality, right? By focusing on what those definitions meant and how I wanted to show up in them. Because knowing what something means allows you the ability to show up in it because you can. Because you have the power to manifest anything you want by being anything you choose to be. And so every time you show up in the dream that is you, you are becoming your magic. You are showing up in those abracadabra moments, right? And so what are your abracadabra moments that actually have gotten you to who you are today? And what was the dream for yourself that we need to celebrate you for? Because you didn't give up. You know how I know you didn't give up? Because you allowed it to evolve into an emotion and not just a role and title. See, I extracted the emotion of what it meant to be a teacher, what it meant to be a lawyer, what it meant to be a psychologist, not the title, because roles and titles mean nothing. Impact is everything, right? And so I extracted the emotion because of the impact that I decided I wanted to be, I wanted to give. And so you have to decide what is the emotional connection to the thing you want it to be. And then ask yourself, how can I be that today? How can I stop sitting down on my dreams? How can I create the moment of those abracadabras? If you're interested in figuring that out, seriously wanting to do the work, because we once again are in the last quarter of this leap year. This leap year where we are gaining clarity into God's favor. This leap year in which we will get double for our trouble for showing up in our assignment. Why do I say that? Because showing up in your assignment means to multiply God's God piece in the world, his impact, his light, right? His soul print, your soul print. The only perfect thing about you is the soul print you came to leave. And so it is our responsibility to be intentional about how we show up. What do we do with these very precious moments? How we recognize that every day that we sit down on who we were called to be, we are wasting the dreams that we used to have as kids. The dreams that we let get lost in translation. That's the word. Our dreams have gotten lost in translation. The translation of what you thought it meant for that dream, because you lost the emotional connection that God wanted you to feel when you had the desire to be that thing. He wanted you to connect to that because deep down in the core of you, that is who you are. And you can allow it to evolve into anything. But you got to be true to you. And so when I think about it, it makes me want to read, of course, How Special Are You, Where You're One of a Kind. I don't know if you ever heard this book. This is my children's book. You can find this at IChooseMeBlingBoutique or PreciousPortland.com. But I feel the need to share it because I always say that how special are you, where you're one of a kind, is not just for children, but it's definitely for adults as well. Because so often we suffer in silence because of that little boy or little girl. And I often hear speakers often ask, that or ask people, what would you tell that little boy or girl? And for me, it was something different. I always ask, how did you inspire that little boy or girl? For all the hell that they may have gone through, for the reason why you choose to embrace those valley memories, the reasons why you stay stuck with soul clots in life, right? Not allowing yourself to process into manifesting a dream because of those things that have broken you, right? I often say, instead of you going to talk to that little boy and girl, I want to ask you, did you inspire that little boy and girl? If you went to that little you today and you know the things that you had to endure, you know the things that you had to experience, you know what it took for you to be where you are today at this present time. And I have to ask you, did you inspire that little boy and girl? Did you make it worth what they went through? Because you recognize that pain that you went through was the death, and how you rise above it is the victory. It is the resurrection. It is how you transform and impact somebody else. It is what makes you the solution. What you did with that, how you can show up looking like the evidence of getting up after those traumatic experiences, by getting up after those things that people couldn't even imagine. Certain things that you went through maybe could have killed somebody else. And so you have to begin to ask yourself, what made me get up? What made me rise? And most importantly, what makes me not celebrate the victory in who I am today, knowing what I had to go through yesterday, knowing what I had to endure? What makes me not celebrate me daily? What is that thing that stops me from seeing how special I am? And so, as you know, the book is called How Special Are You? Well, you're one of a kind. This is written by yours truly, Precious Paula, and it is illustrated by my very special, amazing goddaughter, who is 21, Miss Sierra B. Dixon. This is her first actual illustrated book. She also now has her illustration in another book, Miss Melissa Price book, which is Lessons and Legacies. Oh my God, I'm going to do a live with her. The book is amazing. I'm going to put her link up. You got to get it. It has me crying. It has me laughing. It is, beautifully written. It is a testimony of so many different people. I don't even want to get sidetracked because it's so powerful. I want to do a whole hour show dealing with it. But as I said, this is How Special Are You? Well, you're one of a kind. How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over and another you I would never find. This is my little story time for you. I want to talk to that little boy, that little girl. I want to talk to you right now. You have a beauty that the world has never seen, and knowing that is the core of your self-esteem. You have something special that no one can do. Plus, the world would be missing a piece without you. There is a light inside that gets brighter day by day when you nurture yourself with what you choose to say. How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over and another you I would never find. Words have the power and the ability to provide a sense of peace for the you inside. You are a soul that is longing to hear the beat of your drum. And the more you love yourself, the louder the sound becomes. Come on now. How many of you need to know that the more you love yourself, the louder the sound becomes? And when I have this young girl right here looking in the mirror, the queen, because I want you to understand that this mirror image is who she's becoming, looking at the mirror at who she is right now. And so it's vice versa. If you're an adult, then you are looking at yourself talking to the little kid. But if you are a kid, you are understanding that everything that you're going through will be worth it for who you are becoming. There is an inside voice that whispers your name, and to honor yourself, you must stay in your lane. How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over and another you I would never find. A lane was created to get you to your dream so you can become something the world has never seen. Come on now. A lane was created to get you to your dream so that you can become something the world has never seen. What you have is so divine. Did you forget I said you are one of a kind? You are amazing beyond measures when you recognize who you are. And that one essential piece is the essence that gets you far. How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over and another you I would never find. No matter what life throws you, understand you were built for the ride. And everything you need was already placed inside. No one can ever love you more than the love that is waiting inside of your core. So tell yourself daily, I choose me no matter what. And you will begin to fill your empty cup. How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over, and another you I would never find. Your mission is to see your beauty in all that you are, for that turns on the light to your undying star. Because when you choose to shine, you can brighten every room. Understanding when light enters, darkness can never loom. Isn't that beautiful? You are that star that shines in the night. That's how powerful your light is. The world is a puzzle waiting on your masterpiece in order to be complete. And the moment you master your piece, you can finally take a seat. How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over, and another you I would never find. Take a seat at the table which says I have showed up in my assignment because my mind, body, and soul have come into alignment. Love yourself 365 days of the year and watch how you win. For greatness is finding the power within. Know your worth in all that you do, for destiny is waiting, and everything you dream of will start elevating. How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over, and another you I would never find. Look at the beautiful illustrator, my goddaughter. Isn't she gorgeous? Come on now. Here's my huge family. But let me tell you what's so special about this book. You too can have this book. And so I don't care. This is going into Christmas season. This is a book that every child should have. And I also have it in the image. And every adult should have, to be honest, because I love it. This is mine. If you can see, I had to sign it to myself. This is my copy. Why? Because I matter. Why? Because everything that I say you should invest in and change your life, first change mine. First change minds, right? And so this whole mission of knowing your worth, this I Choose Me hashtag no more excuses, is about really celebrating that there are no more excuses while we can celebrate your beauty. There are no more excuses while we can't celebrate your shine, your victories, the dream of you becoming who you said you would. Because you embody the emotion of what that meant. Hey, Kia, hey, boo. You embody the emotion of what it meant to show up for you. At this time, if you are watching right now on live and you have been touched, I also now have the ability to invite you on to share with the audience. And so if you would like to come on before the end of the show, we got a little bit over 15 minutes, and you would like to share maybe a testimony, how I Choose Me have touched you, how this power hour, this becoming your magic is investing in your time. I want you to know that from today on, you have the ability. You could just put in a comment, I want to tune in. It doesn't matter where you are. I will send you an invite in Messenger. You'll come right in my studio in the green room, and we'll pop you in here and you can have a conversation. But what I want you to know is that this is not about me just sitting here telling you who you can be. Why? Because knowledge is power. We all know that. But I want you to know what I say. Knowledge may be power, but only applied knowledge is transformation. I want to know, how has this time been transforming you? How have you been waking up knowing your worth? How have you been speaking over the last I ams that we have done over the last, we're in our third week now, y'all. We're already in week 3 of becoming your magic power hour, which just goes to show that you just got to start. You just got to start. I said what I wanted to do, and I just had to start. And already I'm in the 3rd week of becoming your magic power hour. It's just as simple as saying, this is what I want, and just doing it. It's just as simple as accepting just who you are and doing it. Being who you were called to be and doing it. Saying who you want to become and being it. Waking up out of that dream and walking in it. Turning those faith into walks by knowing that the seed of thought is key. The seed of thought is key. To renew your mind is to change your reality. To renew your mind is to change your reality. Becoming your magic is about realizing that it is as simple as abracadabra, because the magician is the person who knows how to work the magic of the trick that they're doing. You are the magic of the life that you are creating. So you are the magician of your story. The question is, what are you doing to impact your own life, your own experiences, your own I ams? And so, as I said, we have gone through a whole 2 weeks. So the I ams that you should have known already is I am resourceful. We got 52 cards on the ABCs of how special I am. Where are the cards? Because I have to pull one. I know it's over here somewhere. There you go. We have to pull one for our I am today, but we had I am resourceful. We had I am noble. We had I am the X factor. We had I am the key. We had I am original. We had I am the promise. We have I am intuitive. I am genuine. And I am amazing. These are the words that we have picked randomly in the last 2 weeks. We missed one day. So we have 9 cards right here. We are only live Monday through Friday. If you would like to get your own sets of I am, go to PreciousPaula.com. It comes with the definitions. It's actually a game. It's so many things. It is so many things. It is a room breaker, icebreaker if you're having conferences. We love this at the refill station. And so we are at 47 minutes in. So we're going to randomly pick our I am card for the day. Thank you guys for tuning in, clocking in. I promise you God is giving you credit, because I know him like that. I do. So let's put this down so we can see what card is today. So right now, I asked for the energy in order to pull the card that represents what it is to be a dreamer of yourself, God, so that you can give them the I am, for them to trust in who they saw themselves being, what they saw for themselves, who they have always wanted to be. I ask that at this time that you would give them an I am that would remind them of your love. So let's randomly see what is the I am for today's power hour. Oh my God, I am irreplaceable. I am irreplaceable. You know what it means to be irreplaceable? It means that no matter how much the dream that you may have had for yourself yesterday didn't pan out in the way you wanted it to be, nobody could have been you better than you. Nobody can be to this world who you have been to this world. Nobody can walk in the matter and in the magnitude that you bring. And so knowing that you are irreplaceable will take that self-doubt out of your head. It will remove those what is the word I'm looking for? It will remove that feeling of not feeling worthy, right? Not feeling necessary. Being irreplaceable is knowing that if you don't show up, somebody will notice that. Suicide rate in the last in 1999 was so high in our kids because they were not sure that they were so irreplaceable. And so I created these games, the ABCs of How Special I Am, as a collaboration with the book to remind our kids that they are irreplaceable. And sometimes I've learned in this season that I have to remind the adults that they are irreplaceable. You know, kids learn from us. Kids learn from us. Kids learn from us. And so the condition of their souls, the condition of their ability to know their worth, their condition of how they feel about themselves is about what they learn from us, what they learn from their teachers. We are their teachers. We are everybody's teachers. Every time you show up in who you are, somebody is learning from you. Somebody is watching how you react. Somebody is watching how you get up. I'm telling you that it's all right to cry. I'm also telling you it's all right to talk about it. I'm also telling you it's all right to know that this is normal, that knowing that you are irreplaceable will remove the suicidal thoughts that have you feeling unworthy, have you feeling like life can go on without you. I don't know where that just came from, but God wants somebody to know that life can't go on without you, and you are irreplaceable. And I don't care how hard it gets, I don't care how tough it gets, that you were built for the ride, that nobody can arrive in the condition that you can arrive in with what you have to offer. So you got to know how irreplaceable you are. You got to know that until you know the value, until you know the value in your X factor, you will never be able to become the dream you have for yourself. And so ask yourself, do I understand that I am irreplaceable? So that is the card for today. And I hope I'm not still freezing. No. That is a card for the day, knowing that we are irreplaceable. At this time, we're going to get ready to listen to our song, because we ended early. We had a good time, and we had 51 minutes. Remember, this is the time, and which is all we wait for. Sorry. Hold on. We're going to get our song popping. Let me wet my whistle, because, honey, if you just got on, I've been talking for a whole 52 minutes. But anyway, like I said, at this time, I often like to remind you that I will be giving my gift a great disservice if I didn't offer you the opportunity to sow into my life. And so it is given to receive. And so I often ask, and always ask at the end, because I believe that you give in order to receive. And so I showed up in the gift that is me. If there is, my phone's going off. If there is anything that you would like, any product, there are different ways that you can sow a seed into Precious Pauline's life. One of the many ways is you can go to PreciousPaulin.com. You can purchase a book of any magnitude for the kids, for yourself, a book of poetry, a game. You can sow a seed into Abracadabra tools. These are tools that will inspire, influence, and I promise you, ignite your abracadabra moments. Guaranteed. Also, if you like the collections, Precious Pauline collection, you have the ability to go to IChooseMeBlingBoutique in order to purchase anything you like, in which I make it myself. It all is handmade by me right now while I can, right? And so please go shop at IChooseMeBlingBoutique. We have all kinds of masks. Cancer or breast cancer awareness is October. We got hats. We got breast cancer, we got masks, and so you can shop there. You can sow a seed by Cash Apping me. My favorite number is 7. You can do a $7 donation. You can do a $1 donation. It does not matter, but it's $P words, $P words. Last but not least, you can PayPal me at PreciousPwords@AOL.com. I want you to know that there are also other ways that are not financial that you can sow a seed, because a seed is anything any way you impact. So that pointer right there, you could just share this video. That is a seed. You could just send me a message and say, that message touched me. Those are the most important seeds, to know that I'm inspiring you into a better relationship with yourself. So feel free to sow into my life, because when we feed the fire, it never stops burning, right? And so help me, help you. Help me, help you. And at this time, we're going to play our song, and we're going to get out of here. We are going to get out of here. Oops, close, cancel. Almost erased everything. So I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you guys take this opportunity to think about who it is you want to be, what it is you want it for your life, and how it is you are going to show up for yourself in this last quarter, because it is never too late to show up for you. If you have breath in your body, you have the opportunity to still become your magic. It's as simple as abracadabra. Abracadabra means I do not look like I did yesterday. I am not ashamed of what you have to say about me, because that's what makes the magic so beautiful. Magic and abracadabra is a change. And so you need to look changed. You should have come from somewhere so that people can see your abracadabra. So if you ain't changed, then yeah, people won't notice that you are magic. But if you have showed up, if you have created the life that you want, then you need to celebrate that. And I mean daily. Celebrate it, because you're worth it. I finally found it. Have you ever found out? It's the I Choose Me anthem, y'all. Ever took the time to discover. If you need it, message me and I will send it to you if you would like to sing along. The world needs to see. It will give you the courage. Listen to the words. To dare to just be. I choose me. No more excuses. I'm enough. More than worthy. I own my stuff. No more excuses. I'm enough. More than worthy. I own my stuff. Have you ever loved yourself more than you can stand? Ever took the time to walk on uncharted land because you knew what you offered was one of a kind? If you never bring your gift, then what would we find? I choose me. No more excuses. I'm enough. More than worthy. I own my stuff. Have you ever dreamed that life would only bring joy? Only to discover that the pain brings you more. More of those questions answered to what makes me great. When I learned to digest. Oh, no, they didn't. Did they call my phone? The good and bad on my plate. No more excuses. I'm enough. More than worthy. I own my stuff. The secret is that through all these things, after pain comes triumph. When you stay in your lane, you realize the lessons were blessings on the journey to you. And your purpose was found. And the things you went through. Come on now. I choose me. No more excuses. I'm enough. More than worthy. You can come over. I own my stuff. The gift is your story. You want to say hi? the shape of your mold. When you reach your purpose, your message of inspiration is told. Come on now, you know they know the words. Love goes everything. It's their mama's song. In all that you do, in order to give it must first be in you. Your dreams will be fulfilled when you choose to walk in your light. And the love that's inside, oh my goodness, will be the fuel for your flight. No more excuses. You're enough. I'm enough. I choose more than worthy. I choose me. I own my stuff. And so that's what I Choose Me hashtag No More Excuses is all about. It's about owning your stuff. It's about recognizing that in order for you to show up in the beauty that is you, you got to see you, you got to walk in it, you got to talk like it, and you got to become it. Why? Because you can become anything you want by just believing in yourself, by just changing the seeds of thought, by knowing the secret that God knows about you, that you're one of a kind, that you are irreplaceable, that no one can be you better than you. And when you begin to show up knowing just how powerful you are, you will begin to leave your soul print. Because it is time for us to do that. As I often said, it is time for us to turn our heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave a soul print. Because the fingerprint, it tells us what we got wrong in this world. But the soul print, it tells us what we got right. And what God got right is you. And so it is time for us to understand that it is a relay race and somebody is relying on you. So you must understand that you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. And so it's your responsibility to stay lit in this world. Thank you for tuning in to the Become Your Magic Power Hour with yours truly, the Queen of Soul Stirring Inspiration, in which we learn to ignite our abracadabras. I'll see you here tomorrow at 7 p.m. in order to inspire you into an even better relationship today, tomorrow, and the day after. I love you. Remember that you are irreplaceable. That is the I am for today. Remember that it is up to you to become who you wanted to be. It is never too late to attach the emotion to your desire. It is time to show up. This is the last quarter of the year. It's assignment time. I want you guys to get A's. So let's get about God's business by clocking into us so that we can figure out what it is we need to leave this season with the highest grade possible. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.